You did your good.
Yeah. Hello, Karen. I'm glad to see you came back this week. How are you doing? How's the last week been?
Not great. So today or yesterday, I found out that my ex, who we broke up a couple months ago, she's like, I got confirmation that she's actually seeing somebody. And it was, something I had already kind of known, but to hear my friend like confirm that,
Right.
that kind of set me like spiraling. I was finally getting to a place where I was not okay, but kind of accepting the breakup. And now I feel like I'm back at square one. I just feel so betrayed and angry and hurt. And I mean, I'm all over the place right now.
So when she told you that, how did she tell you? Did she tell you in person, or have you seen your ex?
I haven't seen my ex since mid-March. That's when everything officially ended. So basically no contact except for like logistics of me moving out. When I moved out, I wasn't there for a few weeks. I was staying with family, and then I went back to get my stuff. And yeah, it was really, really tough. But since that, I haven't seen her. We don't speak. I mean, she has the dog, so she's reached out to me about the dog a couple times. And I'm like, just figure it out. And yeah, so, and my sister kept saying that she's seeing somebody, and I kind of knew that because she was dropping hints months ago, or just kind of making fun of like, oh, what would it be like if I were to cheat on you? And I was like, that's like not funny. And she kind of apologized for it, but I guess I didn't want to see it.
It's a lot to hear the validation. It's always been in your head, but actually hearing it is a different story.
It's a different story, and now I just can't stop thinking about who is it, when did it happen, how long was it going on for, was it like now I'm just spiraling, and I feel terrible.
So when you say spiraling, last week we did a scale of 0 to 10 on how you felt with yourself, with the progress you've made, with you trying to get over it and focusing on yourself and not trying to think about your ex all the time. You were at a 3. What would you say you're at now from 0 to 10?
Like a -4, like sub-0 is where I'm at right now, honestly. Like it's all I can do to not just burst into tears right now, because I'm so upset. I thought I was gonna marry this person, and it's like the second that I was trying to work on myself and really like do what I should have done before we got in this relationship, the second I did that, it's like I wasn't good enough for her. So it's like she was coming towards me when I wasn't working on myself.
Right.
And then when I am working on myself and I'm coming towards her for support, it's like she's like, I don't want it.
So you say you're at a -4, which is pretty low. So my question is, what made you get out of bed this morning and come to therapy? Because it's not easy. The fact that you're here is absolutely amazing, and that you got yourself up and dressed and ready and drove here and didn't call and cancel.
Yeah, I wanted to. I really wanted to. It was kind of like finger over the like text message saying, maybe I should say to cancel, because all I want to do is be in bed and just like cry, because she's just in my head every minute of every day for the past several months, and I can't get it out of my head. So how I did it, I don't know. But I'm here, and I wanted to get some advice and figure out what I can do so I don't feel this way anymore. Well, it's killing me.
The fact that you made it here is outstanding, and not a lot of people can do what you did today.
Thank you.
So how many days ago did you find out? Did your friend tell you? Like
told me yesterday.
Oh wow, okay, so it's very fresh. So that's even more impressive that you got up and came today.
Yeah. I'm just angry. I'm really angry because it confirms what all my friends and family have been telling me, that she was probably cheating on me long before we broke up. And in my mind, I think I knew that, but I just didn't want to acknowledge it. And so I feel stupid too. Like
Right,
I
it's
feel like a
hard.
fool.
It's hard when, you think about something and then it comes true and you're just like, everyone was right all along and I was just blind to it.
Yeah.
So before yesterday,
Mhm.
how was the rest of your week? How was you focusing on yourself? Did you do anything different or
I felt like there were times, like long periods of time where I didn't think about her at all. Maybe for like a couple hours or something, if I was like engrossed in my activity, which was nice. And
that's a huge deal going
Yeah.
from thinking about one person 24/7 all day long and not being able to get it out of your head to going a couple hours. That's
Mhm.
huge.
But that was before yesterday,
right.
before this, really became real.
Right. So have you has your sister reached out to you anymore? Have y'all talked about it?
Briefly, I just told her, that what I found out and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I just, other than starting to see someone myself, which is like, I'm not even in that mindset. I just don't know what could possibly get my mind off of this. It's like all consuming.
Right, yeah, and it's not gonna be easy. But what do you think that you could do this week to get maybe back to where you were before yesterday? Do you think there's something that you could do, something that you and your friends could go do or something?
Yeah, just seeing.
So because -4 is really low and obviously
Yeah.
I don't want you to feel like that and
Yeah, I think seeing my friends, hanging out with them, and I know that I don't want to harp on it too much, how people who are going through a breakup or heartbreak, it's on their mind a lot, but it's not on their friend's mind. So I don't want to
right.
just unload on my friends like all the time, but I need to talk about it. So I guess I would like a mix of getting support from them, but also maybe doing nothing or not doing nothing, but seeing what their lives are going on, like what's going on in their lives, what they're doing, maybe just take my mind off of it. I don't wanna, it's been months now. It's been 3 months that I've been already just talking to
drag
them
yourself out of
and
this.
processing with them about it. And I don't wanna, this is just, and they already knew about it. They were the ones who kept telling me too, she's probably cheating. So they were right. Everybody was right. I just didn't want to believe it. So bottom line, I should just hang out with them and try and enjoy their company.
So when you say hang out with your friends or whatever, what would be, ideal that would make you happy? Something that y'all could go do? Is there something like in the past that all of you have done together and it's been fun?
Yeah, we could go to brunch, or we could just have like a girls' night. I find that, if I can have a couple drinks, that helps me loosen
Right,
up too. And I don't want to get too crazy because then, it won't feel good the next day. Then I just keep going over what happened, and it's even worse. So, yeah, I've just doing things to distract me is best. Being alone is not fun for me right now.
Right, yeah, and I'm assuming, or have you, since yesterday, whatever time you found out, have you been alone since? Have you seen anyone in person, or have you just been?
I've just been
by
by
yourself?
myself. I've been by myself, which I guess is another reason why I wanted to come see you, is that it's
Right.
nice to have someone else to talk to. But yeah, I've been alone, and that's really hard because when I'm alone is when
You're lost with your thoughts. and only
the
your
thoughts, yeah, creep in, and they're hard to get rid of.
Yes. So not to go back, but you mentioned something about a dog and that y'all had only talked over a dog. Is this your dog together?
We bought a dog together in the fall of last year. Or wait a minute. No, it was December of last year. We got a dog. And obviously we weren't gonna get a dog unless we thought we were gonna be together.
Right.
That was the point. And so we got one, and now because she's staying in the apartment and I'm in with some relatives, she's keeping the dog. So it was mutual because I wouldn't
Okay.
be able to take care of her by myself. And I didn't want to take care of her by myself because that wasn't the point. So she has the dog, she's in the apartment, and
So, and how often do y'all communicate over this dog?
not often, not anymore. It was more of like, because I was the one taking care of the vet stuff and then insurance information, so I was kind of just transferring it to her. Yeah.
So it's just gonna be her dog now. I guess that's my question.
Yes, yeah, she's not
So
mine
it's,
anymore.
okay. No, that makes sense, and I'm sure that was hard also.
Yeah, because I was the main, that was the dog's main caretaker. My ex was always at work. She had a really big job, so I was the one pretty much taking care of her all the time.
But you both came to the mutual agreement that you did not, it was best for her to keep it.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. So, well, obviously, for this week, we want to focus on you getting at least, a half a point better for next week, and,
Yeah,
um,
it might help if I like go to the gym every day. That's been helping. Or just I don't know, there's something about feeling like a lot of physical pain right now that somehow makes my emotional pain
when you were
less.
together for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So it's also kind of, you built this life with someone and now
Mhm.
you're going back. Is there anything before that you all were together that you kind of stopped doing that you used to enjoy?
Yeah, I think just getting back to myself and what I did enjoy.
What did you enjoy to do?
I mean, just working out, going to CrossFit, and hanging out with friends and family, a lot of family, where I live, so that's easy, but it's, before we got together, I was really, I was only focused on myself. I wasn't pining over anyone. I wasn't in a relationship or
Mhm.
fresh out of one, so I was, when I moved to my current apartment, I was free. I was able to do what I wanted, and then it just so happened that she came into my life, but it was at that time that I knew I needed to go to therapy, but because she was in my life,
She was your security blanket?
security blanket and a good distraction from that. I didn't have to think about going to therapy because I was getting, my happy fix from my partner
Mhm.
or from this like budding relationship, and that I kind of put my mental health on the back burner, which reared its ugly head later in our relationship, which if that's the reason why it went south, and that's kind of neither here nor there at this point. But I think now I can get back to where I was before I was in this relationship, and I can still be coming to therapy to work on things, because I just don't want to be that person where my identity is wrapped up in my ex, and that I'm not me, I'm so-and-so's ex, or either to other people or to myself. Worst of all is that I can't see myself as an independent entity outside of the person I dated, because if that's the case, then I would just feel even worse that I can't even be my own person without a partner.
Right, so, you mentioned you lived in an apartment, and then you two lived in an apartment, but now you're living with relatives.
Yeah, I have family who live in the same area, so they have a big house, so I can just stay there.
Okay, so do you plan on living there for a while, or do you wanna get your own apartment again, or you just?
Yeah, I want to get my own place. It was kind of a waiting game of my storage unit and just things like that. But yeah, I've been looking at apartments and hoping to move fairly soon.
So what relatives do you live with?
My aunt and uncle.
Okay, and is that on your mom or dad's side?
Mom's side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'd also mentioned something like before you had met your ex, that your mental health was okay, but when you met her, you had thought about going to therapy, and then when you met her, she became kind of your security blanket. So would you say that mental health is one of the top things on your list that you would like to work on for yourself so that you can feel okay again?
I think that's gonna be what it is, just mental health, physical health, just trying to distract is kind of the only word I can think about it, but I distract myself, I guess, with activities and work on my mental health and my, self-worth, because my self-worth is kind of like non-existent right now. And my sister told me, that everyone around me and my coworkers, friends, family, they still see me as the same person. The only person who sees me differently is my ex. And that's so hard for me to believe right now. I mean, I know that my family doesn't see me differently, but it just sucks that the one person who I really want to see me in a certain way has rejected and betrayed me. So I don't, and the person I loved, still love, is, still saying that.
So you mentioned your self-worth. That's a really big deal. Ideally, what do you think you should do to get just a little bit of your self-worth back? Like, what would satisfy you and say, okay, like, I got a little bit of my self-worth back?
I think would be, I don't know, just reminding myself that I'm not what one person thinks of me, that one person's behavior, opinions, actions do not need to dictate how I feel about myself and about how I live my life or my worth. Easier said than done, because her opinion right now seems to be all that matters to me, but it's not like she's calling me up to tell me these things. I mean, she told me that she was, didn't want to be with me anymore and, lied to me, cheated on me. And so I shouldn't want this person I shouldn't care about this person wants what they think of me, but I can't help it because that's the person who I want to think of me highly.
Right. So for next session, I think that you should, like we said, you need to do something for yourself. Like if that is going out with your friends or something, and maybe before you go with your friends, say something like, let's not talk about relationships or let's not talk about anything. Let's just be ourselves and be who we used to be, like without everyone in their relationships. Because I feel like if you do that, then because you mentioned that you don't want them to feel like you're harping on something.
Yeah, I've put them through so many months of this. It'd be different if it was, the first few weeks is understandable, but now I just feel like I can sense it in them that they can sometimes be like, they want to move on. They want to move on, they've moved on, and I'm the one who's stuck.
Right, which is, it's not a bad thing. Yeah. So I feel like this week, how about we try to do something with your friends, hang out with them, go to brunch like you said, or bowling, anything, and just try to stay in the present, try to stay in the moment. And I know that's harder said than done, but if you do that, maybe you'll feel better, and maybe go to the gym once a week or do CrossFit. And hopefully by next week we'll not be at a -4.
I hope not. I'm hoping that this is the worst of it. That would be ideal if right now this is the worst that I feel.
Well, that's the hope. So, and just know that the fact that you got up, you should be very proud of yourself today. Because I know a lot of people that wouldn't get up and come to therapy after hearing the news that they heard. And the fact that you're still coming and you're wanting to work on yourself, that says a lot about you as a person. And you have to give yourself that credit, because a lot of people in this situation wouldn't come. They would want to stay in bed and bottle everything up. So it takes a lot.
Yeah.
So
thank you. Well, we'll try. We're going to try.
Yes. So thank you for coming, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. I don't understand Octavia. It was just 20 minutes or like 19. I don't care.